I like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You know, was when we gave up that first score, they got their onside kick. I mean, right then it could have gone 14-0, and who knows, what happens then. And for us to go back out there and stop on 4 downs and get the ball back to our offense and weather that storm defensively was a huge to get into this game and get a lead, and then, boom, we get right back in it and put ourselves right back. And then we had the 2 more drives that we didn't finish with points, but we moved the ball. And so we felt comfortable, keep executing, doing what we're supposed to. We felt like the plan was great. I thought we were well executed on the scheme that we needed to run to beat them. And then and definitely had some energy from some new guys that were back in the lineup for us that has been out in a while and really changed the energy for the team, it felt like.
You look at it, and it was 367 yards on the ground total.
Yeah.
You got back to Rouse football. It's 52 carries on the night, the most that you've had any game this season by far. I mean, that beat the Vista Ridge game where you had 47 carries, 230 yards. It was 56 carries for 367 yards. It's nice when you can look at the stats and go, we're averaging 7 yards a carry. That's not a bad situation to be in when you go 2nd and 3.
No, it's a lot of fun to call plays. 2nd and 3, 2nd and mediums, and 2nd and long. Especially when you're running the ball and hey, we can pick up a chunk here, then 2 more downs, we can definitely pick it up. And I thought we complemented it well with the other things that we did, some play action stuff. We had opportunities for big plays. Our receivers were there. We had some drop balls, but we caught some too that kept the eyes, especially on the 4th down that Drew Henson had in the second half. That was a huge play that really flipped the momentum back our direction on that. So that was exciting there as well.
One of the things that I did notice, and haven't talked to Coach Elrod, but starting to see more of the receivers coming back to the ball and doing a good job of maintaining that position to be in a good position for Ethan to throw it, a bigger target, rather than having to put it in a tiny little crease, like you get to the corner of the pylon. But I noticed Botello was that way a couple of times, and it was big because it kept the drive, it kept the momentum going.
Absolutely.
And I think it was a consistency that you kept seeing. Okay, we're going to mix it up a little bit, keep them on their heels, the up-tempo at times. One thing that I was going to ask you about is you got into the red zone one time, and it had the only turnover of the game, or for Rouse anyway. Was at that point that you're kind of overthinking it maybe, or trying something a little too fancy? I mean, I don't know. You just look at it from an outsider.
Yeah, I don't think it was anything too fancy. We'd worked it so much over the 2 weeks and worked that scenario in the red zone in 2 weeks with that package, and that we really wanted Jack. The thing you always worry is will he get the exchange from the center, which we got, and Unblessed has already just kind of turned too quick and mishandled that situation. Jack's, again, a kid that we're definitely wanting to get more touches, wanting to get different looks, because Jack touches the ball. He does a really good job, and he's got a chance to make plays. And that was one of those, sure, when you don't execute it, you want it back, but I liked the call. I liked where we were going with it, what we were trying to do there. Get out of there.
I think it's for the little kids, Caleb. Still a little kid at heart. There you go. So you put all 3 phases of the game together. Braden had 29-yard field goal to add to that. Yeah. So all 3 phases of the game clicking. What now coming into, because your hopes are still alive, correct?
Yeah.
Now, let's play devil's advocate here and let's be the bad guy. Somehow Georgetown pulls out the victory, mathematically eliminated?
Yeah, right now it's going to be there's a lot of things that have to happen. There are some mathematical scenarios there alive. What we got to do is just focus on getting better each practice still, and that's what you owe it to your teammates. The great players, the great leaders, they come to work every day to improve their craft, and that's all we're trying to talk about. You get to practice today. Let's have the best practice today, because we may be limited on how many. So while we're here, you're already up, you're out of bed. Let's have a great one today. Why not? We're already here. Let's go ahead and then tomorrow. Let's worry about tomorrow when it gets here, and then we'll worry about Friday night. Against Georgetown Friday night, and then we'll worry about what happens after that Saturday. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to keep practicing. We're going to fill every moment. We're not going to all of a sudden delay or cut back on time because we may or may not be in it. We're going as on course. We owe it to our seniors to finish strong, and we owe it as underclassmen. These are 6 more practices you get better before maybe off season, and so keep improving, keep grinding, and we're not gonna settle. We feel like we gotta two tough opponents for Georgetown Huddle. We're going to have to throw every punch that we have in those deals to be with those guys. We can. We just have to believe. Now that we're especially healthy coming back, you're kind of getting to see a little bit of what I think, especially on defense. You talk about Isaiah Cash. I mean, the kid had a pretty daggum good game, and definitely have been missing him this year. And he changes the way the whole secondary played. And I think you got to see Ugo playing a lot more freer, more relaxed, because he knew Isaiah's over there. He's got that locked down. I can push, and I can go to where I need to go. And then how about Lane Bresnahan jumping out there? You can tell he's still not at 100%, but he was close, and he made some big plays and great effort plays. And just his leadership on the field is really awesome. So
I think his energy on the field, when he came out there in that first off defensive series, he got in on the tackle, and it was like, okay, now I'm back in my groove. And you could see the defense just pick up a little bit. So
and the other one I want to throw, though, is Derek Galloway.
Yes.
I love seeing that. A senior that, got bad news this summer and thought we could get him back, and then it just kept progressing, and it never got better after a couple of days in camp. And went back to the doctor. We got bad news, and looked like he wasn't going to even get to be back for the season. Stayed with us, showed up there every day at practice. That's hard when you're not even probably not going to play. Was still there every day, and then now he's out there, running around and creating havoc. He inspired the defensive line. His energy back with us was great. It was just fun. That's a neat moment because he just wanted to be back out there one more time. So when everybody else is, well, what do you got left to play for? Ask Derek. He's got a lot left to play for. So that's what we're kind of building off of.
Yeah, you look at Lane, you look at Derek. I mean, especially Derek being a senior, he's got a lot to play for. He's missed out on those opportunities that you can't get back.
No.
And you and I both know that. So.
And it definitely kind of showed with our offensive line because we had our full offensive line that started the year back. We've been in and out of different pieces, and that time we got all five of those guys out there playing again. And I think that's why we saw a little more consistency in the run game too, because you got all five starters. I mean, they're starters for a reason, and you kind of look at it and evaluate. And sometimes we miss, sometimes it's close and it doesn't hurt you, but we don't have the most depth in the world, and so we knew that coming in this year. And it's not too little, too late. But now that we have everybody, let's go make it, and let's go see what happens from here.
And you mentioned that last Monday on the show is the chemistry of that offensive line. If that is gelling and the offensive line is doing well, you're going to be able to move the football.
Huge.
And it also pass protect.
Yeah.
Is what they did. I mean, because you were able to complete 10 passes, 116 yards. That's just 11.6 a throw.
That's a great average.
Yeah, when you have that, and then you have a 7-yard average per carry, you're going to be successful against most teams, I would say.
Yes, sir.
So one of the questions that I did have, and having just a son going through the program, how difficult is it? You're facing this situation, and now it's a little bit of Coach Mann always being honest. You've always been honest. Is it more difficult now keeping these kids focused, knowing that I got to swing for the fences on the next two opponents? Mm-hmm. Or is it harder when you're successful? Think about 2012, 2013, because there's problems both ways, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have the kids that go, I want to be a part of it, and I'm not contributing. And then you have the other side, well, what's there left to play for? So which one, in your opinion, is harder?
Well, the thing that's so hard about those two scenarios with that group and this group is the depth that we had in that group. So if you weren't towing the line, somebody took your spot, which to me, that's when you have a chance to be a really great team. When you have that level of competition all the way across, you have teams that are good right now that are going to make the playoffs that may not have that. So complacency sets in, and that can be a barrier because you are winning, and winning sometimes covers up your ugly scars. And you feel good about what you're doing, but you're really getting away with stuff that you probably shouldn't. And you could be in a weak district right now and winning those games, and you're about to have to play somebody from our district. I mean, I look at what like Drip and McCallum are doing, and they're running away with that district, and the lower Austin schools just aren't as good in football. They're going to have to turn and play one of these schools week one in the playoffs. So if you're Drip, you're going to get Maynard, Georgetown, Rouse, Hutto, Cedar Park. You're going to get one of those. That's going to be better than anything you saw in the last 6 or 7 weeks. That's if you have some of those ugly wins that you are feeling good, your kids think you're winning because you're good, but they're not because of competition. That can be tough. Now, on the flip side of that, when you're battling there at the end, and not quite getting in there, it's where your culture has to come in. And luckily, our culture's been growing. And when you got guys like Aiden Sharp leading that group, he's got a chance to go on and extend his career, play at the next level. Talked to him this morning, like where we at on recruiting tapes and stuff, and he's like, Coach, I don't even want to have that conversation. Let's just focus on these weeks. I want to do everything I can for Rouse. Wow, that is so huge. And so when your senior leaders, that's your biggest, strongest guys doing that, you have a really good chance.
That's always tough because they're in essence going to want to play for themselves for their next level career, right? And so that's always really tough. Is you have those special kids like Aiden, and I'm not saying Aiden's the only one.
No.
There have been many before that have had that same mentality. It's just the culture. As Harry Potter comes to visit us. But that's always good to hear from a parent's perspective. If that kid's not going, hey, it's just about me, I don't really care because I'm going to go play the next level. Because a lot of these kids, they realize, and you played with some guys that have gone on to the professional level and have gone on to big-time coaching and have done those things. And so you go, I got the opportunity to play with them.
Yeah.
You may not have won conference championships or the national championship in college, but you still had the opportunity to play with those guys and build that brotherhood and that bond that you guys always talk about.
Yeah, 2 lessons I learned while playing in college football. My first year, I was at Angelo State, and I was a walk-on, so I was kind of on the back end and got to sit and just kind of observe because you walk on red shirt, you're not going to play, and you're not. So it was a nice break, but I got to take in, and we had a good team. That first year I was at Angelo State in 2001. They had a chance to go and make the playoffs in Division II that year, and we had 3 guys that had draftable grades on that team. But those meetings were miserable because it was when we weren't performing well, when we weren't winning, it was about
That's always good to see, and I think they don't really realize that because, coach, it's just talk. I mean, that's the way we all were at that age. But I think that is refreshing to hear because I know the culture that has been built here, and you kind of go, that's just kind of what's expected.
Yeah, absolutely. And
so
it's a lot of fun when it's like that too, because I mean it is. It can be distracting and get on. You could get to this point of the season and it's grinding. It's not easy. It's not easy for the coaches. I mean, you're still giving up your Saturdays, Sundays, and you're coming up here and we want to put the best product out there, and that's what I promise these kids. And I think that starts with the coaches are still coaching hard, and we're still holding to that same line of accountability. And there's some right now that are learning that the hard way. You're not showing up to practice. You're not going to play in these games. Yeah. We're not just because it's the end of the year. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it matters. It matters to a lot of people. So we're still fighting through that, and we're still growing the program through that.
So let's talk about the next opponent that we have coming up this week at Georgetown Eagles. They had a big victory against Manor.
Yeah.
And we're able to win there as Garcia is checking out the candy.
I'm so disappointed he's not dressed as a Joker right now. So disappointed. I am too. There's guys. Sit down. Somebody.
Some of these kids, yeah. So let's talk about Georgetown a little bit. Coach Dean and Georgetown Eagles, as we see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle walk up. You can come get some candy, bud. We got lots of candy here.
You want some candy?
Yeah, come on up.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
There you go. Iron Man. Deadpool.
Deadpool. Oh, wow. Didn't know without the mask. That's a good guess, though.
Awesome.
So Coach Dean, always a good program over there. They had a big win against Manor. Do we think it's going to be David versus Goliath again?
I don't know if it's necessarily that tilted. They definitely has a lot of momentum going right now. They were on a 3-game losing streak too, though, coming into that Manor game. But they had lost to Stephenville, Hutto, and Cedar Park, and through that stretch, and in that stretch, they there you go, guys. So they definitely got back on the right track the last 2 weeks with Pflugerville, and you're welcome, with Pflugerville and Manor. The thing that really jumped off the board with Coach Dean's team is their offensive line play. They're so unison. Coach Perez always does a great job of charting the starters, who play. I think there's been one game that they've had an alternative starter in the game. Okay, there we go. And they've had that same group starting up front for Georgetown's offensive line the whole year almost, one with the exception of one game. And they're big, they're mean, they play real physical, they know their identity on that. You could see through their losing streak they had a couple fullback, tight end kids that weren't in, that were injured, and that are back now, so they're kind of getting there. And it's kind of weird because I always think of Georgetown throwing it around more. They've had those elite receivers the last couple of years with Leggett. That's They ran a total of 64 plays, and 48 of those were runs. And so it was downhill at you football. So we're going to have to bring our lunch pail with us and go in because it's going to be a physical game. You get both teams like that. Now, they do mix it up, and they do want to throw the ball some, but I was really surprised how much they went downhill at Manor, and I think that's going to be the attack that they're kind of adopted the last 2 weeks. They did lose one of their better receivers is out right now. I think he's going to be out for a while, what we've heard. So maybe that's one reason why they're changing our identity to go a little bit more downhill at people. I love the quarterback. Man, he's a physical, hard runner. Kind of reminds me of Ethan. He's a big, tall kid that when he decides to go, he's probably their best running back. And so we got to really be accountable in the box and have to find creative ways to match up with them.
So you've faced the big offensive or defensive line before. Okay. So you've faced the big defensive lines all season long, and you faced the big offensive line. I think back to Anderson, and it's a test for your defense again to have to deal with that. So I think that was one of the things that you talked about that week, if I recall, was the physicality that they're going to present and how you're going to handle it. In the first offensive series, kind of shut them down, and so. Is that a concern again because of the momentum that they have, or is it we have nothing to lose right now?
It's definitely a concern anytime a team wants to use their identity to run the ball, because if you don't take that away, it's going to be a long night. You can do some things to suffocate the pass. You can line up. You can neutralize it and just say,
Put in you. Okay, you ready? Okay. Talk a little bit about having some of the players back. Derek, Lane, and that other guy, Isaiah. Talk about having those guys come back to the defense and what it meant for you guys that have been there through the up until this point.
I mean, it meant a lot to us. It gave us some more depth so we can get a good rotation.
All right, it's for all three of you. Scariest movie that you've ever watched.
I already know that one. I'm not I hate horror movies. I can't stand them. So for me, it's Wizard of Oz. When I was a little kid, them flying monkeys had me. Did not do that. Night terrors. I couldn't do the flying monkeys, man. Scared me to death. After that, I couldn't watch horror movies ever again. Them flying monkeys, you don't mess with them.
All right, let the men speak now. Halloween, the original one, I watched that whenever I was probably 7 or 8 years old. It scared me to death.
The Insidious movies for sure. I went with my friends, and never again am I ever watching Insidious.
Did you have nightmares that night? Yeah. I was thinking maybe It. Anybody afraid clowns? Yeah, that. Yeah. The new one, it's a little different. The older one, yeah, it's still pretty good. All right, so we'll let you guys go, so you can go eat some candy before Matthew eats it all. Okay. Any shout outs? We'll let you give a shout out. Ugo, we'll start with you.
Shout out my mom, especially, and shout out the football team, and especially the defense, because we the greatest in the district.
Shout out my mom, dad, O-line, wide receivers, Coach Callen.
All right. As we appreciate our varsity players of the week. Always fun talking to those guys. I've talked to Ethan more this year, I think, than I have in the last 2 years. That's a good thing. Players of the week. One of the things, Coach, I wanted to ask about Players of the Week, you've got Braden Skinner as a kicker. You've got some good players down at the younger age levels. Do you see that? And I know Coach Knight does a good job, so we're going to give him his kudos because he does a good job getting those kickers and finding. But do you start seeing a trend of people wanting to kick and wanting to be part of the Special Forces because of this decal that's on that helmet?
I think it's helped definitely some. I think we got some other ideas to kind of, now that we got just the Special Force sticker, we want to take it to where now there's a certain badge for each of the Special Forces, and so you get that one if you're on it, but then if you're on kickoff, you can get another sticker. If you're on punt, you can get another, because I think that's another level. Coach Elrod's about to take off with that and go with that. As far as, kickers, we've been very blessed, and Coach Knight, not many staffs have just a kicking coach. That does take a spot away from what other people are able to feel, but I feel it's such an important part of the game. And, to have the string that we've had together now. After Braden, we got a couple of young ones, but they're young. And so it's going to be a wide open market next year. He's going to have to really get on his game and coach up, because we don't, we've been fortunate to have kind of junior, senior, kind of in that mold come in. And the next one now is a freshman, and so there's a little bit of a drop off. There's a few more guys that are wanting to do it, so that's kind of exciting as well. So
always that forgotten phase of the game, right? Some coaches forget about it until it bites them a little bit, right? All right, so we'll just is he still over there? I think Coach Richardson's over there.
Coach Richardson, Coach Canada, yeah.
There he is. Come on in.
Get in here.
Have a seat, Coach Richardson. Now I'm going to ask you, Coach Mann, before we get to Coach Richardson. Is he the most energetic coach down on the field?
Loudest.
Not at all.
No, Coach gets into it, man. It's not just on the field; it's that way in practice too. He gets on the field and it's the 10 right now, and he's coaching every one of those guys. It doesn't matter if it's a JV up or who he's out there. It is intense. It's coaching. He's always correcting something, and he's pushing those guys, and he's got a lot of knuckleheads in that secondary to keep up with, so they keep him on his toes and busy for sure. But no, he's definitely one of the most intense coaches I've had. Yeah.
All right, Coach Richardson, are we ready for the tough questions? I'm just gonna favorite athlete. All right, there's my man. There's the star of the show last week, guys. Come get some candy.
Reach in there, get your handful, werewolf.
Yeah.
There you go. Awesome.
So I'll just ask you the question. Best thing about Friday nights?
Oh man, I think, just the competition of it. Like we're talking about, I just kind of step on the field. I get pretty intense, obviously, but I just think the competition is what I live for. I love it. I don't think you can get seen better than Friday nights with that.
So then, we all are dying to know who your favorite athlete is.
Oh, right now you got to go with Patrick Mahomes. The Red Raider. Come on now, he's tearing it up.
Tearing it up.
Tearing it up. He's from Texas, isn't he? Tearing it up. So I'm just going to say this, and I have nothing against Mahomes, but just like UT, what goes up must come down. Sooner or later, he's going to have a bad game, and then you're going to be like, oh. I've been saying that since last week, and yet he proves me wrong, so maybe I just keep going against him.
No, I don't know if everybody heard, but that's what everybody keeps saying about him. Every week, I had a buddy of mine, another coach, called me and goes, I can't buy into the hype yet. I can't buy into the hype that a Tech quarterback's going to be this good in the NFL. Keeps proving me wrong every week.
I do like his skill set around him, too. He's got some dudes now. Holy cow.
You got players like that. All right, Coach, talk about your players. You've got some really good players in the secondary and the back end. Is it difficult or is it easy? And easy is not really a good word, coaching guys like that.
I don't know, easy, but I love it. I think obviously you saw this week getting somebody like Cash back makes a huge difference on the back end. He's a heck of a player. You got Ugo to compliment him there. Cliff on the other side. Ruff's come a long way since week one, getting a lot out of him. But I wouldn't say it's easy, but it sure, getting somebody like Cash back makes you look a lot better back there. So it makes it easier. Easier to call certain coverages.
Man coverage, cover one, knowing hey, he's got it. Then you can worry about other things, right? And then it's up to Coach Brez and that front seven. You guys do your thing. All right, so obviously you've been coaching, I believe you told us 6, 9? Going on 8. I was right somewhere in the middle. I was trying to recall that from the last time we talked to him. Down the road, let's think 10 years down the road. I know that's hard to do sometimes. The flying carpet is going by, Coach. I don't know if you noticed that. That is very creative. 10 years down the road, Coach Richardson, where do you see yourself?
He'll be a head coach.
That's the ultimate goal. I'd love to be a head coach, and I think 10 years, hopefully that comes true within 10 years. So, that's what I'm working for.
Best advice has ever been given.
What's the best advice you've been given so far as a coach or just in general?
Oh, I'm going to go with as a coach because it's a long time ago when I was real young. I think it was my first year coaching. A guy I used to work for always said, coach them up. You can't – you get what you get, so coach them up. And I think I kind of held on to that since, so we're always talking about coach them up. We can't go out recruit, so what you get, you got to coach them up.
Hey, guys, can I weigh in real quick? I think 10 years from now, he's Coach Mann's boss. How's that?
Done. That sounds fine with me. It doesn't be like he can have the gray hair. I'm ready. 10 years, I think I'll be ready to give the gray hair. My wife was real disappointed in his answer. She's like, kids, marriage, 10 years, and the first thing he says, head coach.
Smart guy right there. That is the original. I thought somebody was maybe wearing a costume with the best principal in the state of Texas. But that's the original, see, because that's a real one right there because she's got the name badge. None of the others have name badges, just so you know. No, that's Christine Simpson, the best principal in the state of Texas, by far. Yes, and we want to, thank our community for coming out, and Chuck had got a shot earlier of all the people. We still got candy here, so if you're looking for candy, come get it because we've got candy right here. All right, so, Coach, we're going to ask you your ideal vacation. Where would you go and what would you do?
Man, I don't know if I'll ever have the money for it, but hitting up the islands in Greece would be awesome. Getting a nice big boat going around from island to island on the Greece Islands. I'm all in on that.
Who goes with you?
Oh, I I think I have to call us friends at this point in time. Nobody significant right now. But I think to afford that, I would have had to win that $1 billion lotto to be able to do that. So.
Coach Mann give you a raise.
Yeah.
Lotto raise, it's all close. Yeah, absolutely.
Close in comparison, right?
Come get some guys. Man, the cops are here. They found you. FBI's ready to take you away. Like it. We got a ninja, an FBI, princess. Like it.
Heat it all up. Heat it all up. All right. I'm going to take a guess on this, Coach Richardson. Your playlist, because I'm assuming as hyped as you get before a game and during the game, that you've got to have some type of music that gets you hyped up. And I'm going to say AC/DC, Metallica, maybe?
No, you're going to laugh. I actually got to listen to music before game to calm me down. It's a little Amos Lee, a little relaxing, chill music. Because, I mean, I don't know. Coach Mann can testify on this before practice and stuff. I don't need any music to help me get going. So,
Like those young kids. They just got all that energy, right?
So much energy.
So much energy. Coach Mann's like, oh, just wait till you're head coach. That energy bottle goes away. It's in a can now. All right.
Science is looking for a sponsor.
What's going to be the biggest challenge for your guys coming up against Georgetown this week, Coach Richardson?
from watching on film, I think physicality. I think we got to bring every bit of, and if not step it up from last week on physicality. Is coming downhill. Safeties need to come downhill, help out in the run support. Corners are going to have to trigger, set the edge, and set it with authority. Because, I mean, it's a physical team, so we got to match that. If not, raise that bar to the next level. So I would have to definitely say bringing more physicality to it.
All right,
Shout-outs.
fan club?
I'll shout out Coach Richardson fan club. I don't know if that even exists, but there you go.
I think LaPaglia is in your fan club. There's his one. The bromance.
Oh, man. Coach Richardson, we appreciate you coming by and talking with us, and now you can eat some more candy and get back with them. So definitely appreciate you. We're going to take a quick break. We come back. We will have the last segment of the show coming up, our weekly picks. We'll let you know where Chuck ended up. And that will be interesting to see. And then we'll have our picks coming up for the next week. Coach Elrod, we'll let him weigh in, maybe help out a little bit. He can help from afar. Maybe Coach Richardson can help. Get me out of the cellar. What do we think? We'll see when we come back. You're listening and watching Inside Raider Nation on KMAX Sports.
This is the KMAX Sports Network.
Two, three. More coverage of your high school teams. Let's just say we keep it real.
And you know this, man.
This is the KMAX Sports Network. From West Texas all the way to the Bayou and all points in between.
I saw miles and miles of Texas.
This is the KMAX Sports Network, bringing your teams to you.
This is the KMAX Sports Network, and this is what we do.
Looking left, throws into the end
Bad snap again. He hits the turf, and Delmar scoops it up. Cameron Wilkins
corner of the end zone.
15, 10, 5, touchdown. Let us broadcast your team. Send an email to Merle@KMAXSports.com or Chuck at KMAXSports.com to find out how.
Side, he's got blockers in front of him.
10,
Touchdowns.
5, touchdown.
Yes, sir.
It's what we do, and nobody does it better. We are KMAX Sports.
At KMAX Sports, we want to make sure you get the whole game. So we'll take a moment here to clean your speakers.
Clean Sonic Delivery. This is KMAX Sports.
School, our annual trunk or treat event inside Raider Nation, as we have
Mark Kohler in the house.
all the costumes coming out tonight. There's so many, Coach. I don't even know some of them, but that's just because I'm sheltered, I guess you could say. Except for the fact that last week I was 11-1, Chuck. Just so you know. Yeah, Chuck finished at 9-3, and Coach Mann 1 game behind at 10-2. But the Patriots is our last pick. They play tonight, and they're going to beat up on the Buffalo Bills. So it is what it is, right?
Now I know I lost like Florida and a couple of the upset picks, but I believe I picked Oklahoma State to beat Texas.
I believe you and I both did.
Yes.
That's the one game that set me, Coach Mann, apart.
And I hate as you see Sonny's wife and daughter trying to get some of the kids so you can see some of the really great creative costumes here. That was a trap game all the way. I don't know why, but it was just absolutely positively I felt like Oklahoma State was going to win.
Going to Stillwater, knowing that game was sold out 2 weeks before. As you see the little princess there. I don't know. Is that a princess? Maybe it's a zombie. Coach Elrod, you're supposed to help out.
It's a princess zombie.
Princess zombie. There
princess
you go.
Zombie. There you go. Hey, there she is. Hi.
There.
Oh, there we go. Hi. Hi. Right here. Say hi. There we go. There we go. Right there.
She's got some candy right there.
You get some candy right there.
She is amazing.
By the way, tell the folks who your princess is right there helping out.
That's my wonderful wife right there, Joanna Zapeta.
Joanna.
Yeah, that's Coach Bailey. What's her name? Zaya.
Zaya. Hi, Zaya. Right here, Zaya. Say hi right here.
She's fascinated by the sound coming out of that black thing.
Okay. She's an audio person.
Yes. All right, Coach, you ready?
Well, I do want to defend my Texas pick, though.
Yes.
I think that should be default. I didn't know there were suspensions going into that game.
Oh,
I mean,
please.
there are no suspensions. It's not even a game. But, that's a good call. I like how Coach Herman did sit them, though. They didn't make their meetings, and he put them on the bench, even though it's a big game.
And boy, what a little ruckus there at the end of the game, huh?
Yeah, that happens. We all get a little fired up, I think, at the end of games, especially when you see some stuff on the field. Look at this group coming up.
Look at this group coming.
Now, is that Groot? I see Groot. Go right here and get some candy, Groot.
Look at that. Groot. That looks good right there, doesn't it? Right
Groot.
there.
I love Groot.
That's a social media thing right there. That's a social media photo right there.
Absolutely. Look at all this coming up. Baseball players.
Pirates.
Like it. Look at that. Is that a deer? You better be careful. Oh, season's about to open up. Oh, my God. What? This guy's yelling at me over the mic. I don't know what to do. All right. So we ready for picks?
Yeah, let's do it.
Ready for picks. All right. So we'll go with college first.
Okay.
And since you were at the bottom, we'll let you go first, Chuck.
Whoa. Whoa. What's the overall standings?
Oh, I'm at the bottom. I'll go first.
Yeah.
Louisville at Clemson. Louisville at Clemson. I'm taking Clemson.
Oh, got to go Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson.
Look at this group right here. Look at this group right here.
Yeah, check that out.
Look at that group. Oh, my goodness.
That's scary. All right, next one. Georgia at Kentucky.
Oh, Georgia burned me last week, man.
I'm going Georgia.
Georgia. I got burned by Georgia last week, man. I learned my lesson.
So you're going to go with Georgia at Kentucky?
Yep.
Man.
Yep.
I'm thinking Georgia. Yeah, we'll go with Georgia. Next one. West Virginia comes to town. The Mountaineers against the Longhorns.
Hey guys, look at this. Look at this on camera right here. Look. Right here. Look at that.
This troller is awesome. Love it.
All right, so there's the wife and daughter right there.
Yes.
Hey,
I definitely think that UT is going to bounce back at home. It's going to be a big environment, big crowd. I like the way UT's secondary, I think, is going to respond back, and they've scored a lot of points in all their games. UT has. Yeah. They're not. It's not offense. I think Tar Orlando's going to bounce back. I think they get a win at home against West Virginia.
Wow. Go ahead and take the other one. Coach Elrod, West Virginia. You're supposed to help me out.
Wow, really? West Virginia? Wow. No, I'm with Coach. I'm thinking UT. I'm thinking they're at home. I'm thinking they learned their lesson. I'm thinking that hi.
Yeah, I think we'll go. I think I'll pick the Shorthorns. I really thought about West Virginia. Coach
You
was
wanted
trying to
West
steer-
Virginia.
I did.
You did want West
But
Virginia.
I don't know if they
can
can come
tell.
into DKR and win.
Okay.
All right, this is the one that's going to be interesting, I think. And we're going to let the best ball girl in the state of Texas
There she is.
help make the pick.
She's
You're
on
helping
camera.
Coach Mann make his pick.
What?
Uh-oh.
Somebody's hiding behind your wife now. What's up with that?
All right.
I can see you.
Penn State
There
at
you go.
Michigan.
Oh, God.
Penn State at Michigan.
Give me Michigan by 20. Yeah.
Michigan.
Michigan's. Penn State at Michigan. I'm gonna go Michigan too. Either home. I don't like these games this week.
Alabama and LSU.
Alabama at LSU.
You don't even have to ask me.
God, Chuck's going with LSU.
Heck yeah.
You got Alabama already penciled in. No, I don't know. This is tough. This is tough. I mean, I want LSU to win so bad. Alabama.
Oh.
All right.
Chicken.
Riley helps out.
Chicken.
LSU.
LSU.
Yeah.
You're going LSU.
There you go.
You don't want to do it.
There you
Don't
go.
do it.
No. Pick Alabama. Pick Alabama. Go ahead. Pick Alabama. I want you to pick Alabama.
Oh. Yes, there's my separation.
Oh,
Like
man.
it, like it.
Can I change
I hope I'm wrong.
Can I change my pick now that you picked out LSU?
We got Georgia at Texas Tech. Oklahoma.
Wait, whoa.
Texas Tech. Oklahoma at Texas Tech.
Oklahoma at Texas Tech. Okay.
Oh, man. Lubbock's a hard place to play. Oh, God, I can't stand anything in Lubbock. I hate Lubbock, Texas more than anything in the world. Boomer Sooner.
All right, Riley.
Sooners.
Are you saying Tech? I'm not going to give you the microphone if you say Tech. Were you going to say Tech? Man, you're steering me wrong. You're steering me wrong. Man, I'm going to have to go OU. I mean, the last time it looked like a video game last time these two teams played. You can tell Chuck is a dog lover. Yeah, he gets all the dogs. Says we have dogs making it out to trunk or treat.
the Joker.
All right, Tech. Chuck, you got Tech or OU? You gonna take Tech?
Yeah, no, I'm going OU. Thank you. I'm going OU on that one.
All right, now we'll go with the big boys. Rams at the Saints.
Woo, baby. Saints coming off that big win. And
I'm going Saints. I
Disneyland.
think the streak ends. It's hard to go undefeated in the NFL. They got barely by, I don't think, a very good Green Bay team. I think Green Bay's offense is okay. I don't think their defense that good, and they held them in check. I think the high's coming down, and Drew Brees is going to get him one. What do you
That's
think?
at the Saints?
Saints.
That's at the Saints? Ooh. Man. No, I'm going Rams. I'll go separate. I think that they woke up on defense when they needed to. The offense, I mean, Goff is just phenomenal.
Unbelievable. It's
He
hard
is
to pick.
unbelievable.
There may
Yep.
be 100 points scored in that game.
Yeah. That over-under is going to be north of 50.
Yes.
For sure.
Oh, yeah, take it if it isn't.
Exactly. Whoa. Who'd you take?
He took New Orleans.
Okay.
Green
All right.
Bay at my Pats. Oh, it's Pats all the way. It's not even close.
New England. Yep.
All right, so we're all going to pick New England again this week. We all, yes, jump on the bandwagon. I'm 5 games behind. I got to do something.
So you got to start being different, man.
No.
That's a good one.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good one.
Tagging, yeah. Ganging
That's a
up
good
on
one.
me right now.
You know, you
No.
could also take Texas Tech. I mean, you know,
I could.
they're at
but
home.
Why would I? Yeah, why would I? Kyler Murray is all I got to say. All right, Titans at the Cowboys. I'm taking the Cowboys.
I know, but God, the Cowboys. What did they win last time?
They won last week.
They were off, so they did win, and they lost the week before to the Redskins. But Titans aren't. Cowboys are going to bounce back. That's just what they do. Yeah.
Here's your trap game, Titans.
Yeah, I got it's ugly.
I mean, you're absolutely right. This could be an ugly game. Ugly game. Give me the Titans.
So we got Steelers at the Ravens.
Oh.
Good old bloodbath war. Oh, God. They just beat up on the Browns.
And let me tell you something. I've got
Ravens lost a close one to
I've
Carolina.
got the Ravens defense on my fantasy teams. Boy, they really let me down last week.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not as good as they used to be.
I'm gonna stay with the Steelers.
Where'd you go, Sonny?
Steelers.
Chicken. See, you ask for these games of separation. We give you a chance.
They're coming.
Okay, they're coming. Okay. Yeah.
Falcons at the Redskins.
Ooh, Redskins.
So, I'm taking the Redskins, even though
Redskins.
I stand them.
Falcons.
There you go. Thank you, Coach. And I'll tell you why, Coach. That Redskins defense stepping up.
Yeah.
I'm liking the way they're coming together.
They're just too inconsistent.
Yep.
Lions at Vikings.
Oh.
Vikings.
Yeah.
Vikings?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll take the Vikings. Last one is Texans at the Broncos.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one.
In Denver.
Oof.
Texans.
Oh, they're split over here. Texans or Broncos. The Texans are really starting to play well. Broncos just lost a big one to the Chiefs, but they're home. NFL team, it's hard to lose 2 weeks in a row. But I think the Texans are finding their groove. I'm going to go Texans. I'm going to H-Town.
Wow.
Yep.
Who'd you take?
I'll take the over. Whatever it is, I'm taking the over. No, I'm going to take Denver. I'm going to take Denver. Their defense played well enough the other day that if the offense gets in sync, they'll be fine. I don't like picking against the Texans, but I think their time's too. Plus, they're without Fuller now, and I think that's going to hurt a little bit.
At Mile High.
This is going to be a big week. The picks are going to really put us all either together or somebody's going to be
Or
out
send
there.
Sonny way down.
Or send me way back down at the end.
What is the overall, by the way? What's the
oh,
overall tally, please?
Overall?
Yeah.
Coach Mann is 47 and 22.
Okay.
Chuck is 45 and 24.
2 games behind. Okay.
And I'm 48 and 21. No, I'm 42 and 27.
Okay. Well, at least now you're not to the point where you're looking around and can't see us. You can at least a little bit
You're
see us.
within striking distance.
Yeah, a little bit.
That championship belt is within striking distance. We'll put some extra Velcro on it, Coach, for me and you. All right. Coach, any final thoughts as we wrap up?
Well, this, again, is one of those special nights when you just turn around and look out here at our community. You get to see all the different groups, organizations that are out here so strong, giving up their Monday night to come out here and put this on for the kids. It's really special to see that because it's such diversity amongst the different groups. You got your sporting groups. You got basketball, football, soccer. I know there's others out there as well with all the different clubs. And there's no – it's all complete mix. There's not like just a little click here and a little click there. And that's pretty unique to see at a high school event like this, I think. And then shout out to all the kids. Oh, there's Miss Thompson in the house. Oh, look, there's you another dog, Chuck. Hey, bring the dog over there. They want to see the dog. Yeah. There we go. So it's just, such a special night, and really enjoy this. I'm hoping the kids are having a great, safe evening to get to do this and see all the things. So it's pretty cool.
It's really a great event. We enjoy doing that each and every week, and the weather cooperates with us, Chuck, somewhat. Winds died down. It's a great night.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, apparently, now we're going off a generator, so apparently we had too much electronics hooked up. So once we took a little bit of it down, everything just flowed,
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yep.
As we got the dog up here with us. Can't beat it. All right, as we wrap up, next week we will be at Zaxby's, as you see the slew of people that are out here at this great community event put on by the Rouse Student Council. And what would you call Mrs. Hill? The advisor? Sponsor? Sponsor of Student Council. Does a great job. Full parking lot here in front of Rouse High School, and we appreciate them let Inside Raider Nation come here, and KMAX Sports able to broadcast Friday night. Georgetown, Birkelbach Field in Georgetown will be there pregame starting at 6:30 and a kickoff at 7. Can't make it out. Tune in to KMAXSports.com. We'll have all your Rouse Raider football here 24/7, 365. How about that? All right, so we're looking forward to next Monday. We'll see where the picks land. And I'm pulling for, I don't know, a miracle at this point, I guess, because I'll never live it down. I'm sure if Chuck has anything to do with it, and Coach Mann. And my contract states that, I got to be here, so I can't call in sick, and the dinosaur coming to get us. All right, so for KMAX Sports President and our producer tonight, Mr. Chuck Licata, pulling the strings and hitting the buttons, getting all the camera work done. We appreciate all that he does for Inside Raider Nation. For Director of Operations, Merle Bertrand, Communications Director, Christina Weber, Technical Director, Suna Venkat, and our QA tonight, Mitchell Padgett, back at the KMAX studios. And for Rouse Raider head coach, Josh Mann, we are live here from Rouse High School, the Trunk or Treat event. We appreciate them letting us come out here and broadcast. This is Sonny Zapeta, voice of the Raiders, saying until next time, good night and God bless. Join us on Friday night for Rouse Raider football.
I do have one last shout out as well, just back to home, my mom and dad, and battling through there, and back to Brandy's grandparents, and we're thinking about y'all, praying for y'all, and again, Raider Nation show up Thursday night at Georgetown. We need to see you out there.
All right, as we wrap things up, Sonny Zapeta, voice of the Raiders, saying until next time, good night and God bless. Thank you for listening to KMAX Sports Vype Media Network.
He did the mash. He did the monster mash. The monster mash. It was a great dance. He did the mash.